At the heart of Israel's camp stood the Tabernacle, the dwelling place of the Almighty. From here flowed the great lesson of salvation, how justice and mercy are joined together in God's plan to redeem man. Even the sins of ordinary people could not be ignored. God provided a way, a path of forgiveness through sacrifice. Here the family stands together, facing the weight of guilt and the hope of mercy. And if any one of the common people sin through ignorance, then he shall bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a female without blemish. And if he bring a lamb for a sin offering, he shall bring it a female without blemish. Leviticus 4:27 through 28 and 32. The sinner would not send another. He himself had to bring his own animal, leading it to the tabernacle, carrying both his guilt and his hope. There, in the presence of the priest, the sinner laid his hand upon the head of the innocent animal. By this act, his guilt was symbolically transferred to the substitute. The priest could not take his guilt. It was the sinner himself who must take the knife, knowing that his sin demanded the death of the innocent. With trembling hands, the sinner killed the innocent's lamb. Justice declared that sin brings death, yet mercy allowed an innocent substitute to die in his place. The priest caught the blood, the life of the victim. The guilt of the sinner passed on to the lamb. The innocent bore the burden, and the guilty was released. The sinner stood forgiven, cleansed, and free, because the substitute carried his sin. And the priest shall take of the blood thereof with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering. Leviticus 4:30a. And shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. Leviticus 4:30. Thus sin not only separated man from the Father, it defiled the very earth, and in the end, the earth itself will rise in judgment against sin. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat of the lamb is taken away from the sacrifice of the peace offerings. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar, according to the offerings made by fire unto the Lord. And the priest shall make an atonement for his sin that he hath committed, and it shall be forgiven him. Leviticus chapter 4, verse 35. The life is in the blood. Upon the horn remains the record of sin. Witness that guilt has been transferred from the sinner to the substitute, awaiting God's final cleansing. The priest that offereth it for sin shall eat it. In the holy place shall it be eaten. Leviticus 6:26. In bearing Israel's guilt, the priest internalized the sin, so mercy could reach the sinner, even as justice stood. The fat, the very symbol of sin, was given to the fire. Justice demands sin be destroyed. Mercy frees the repentant who brought it. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar, and it shall be forgiven him. Leviticus 4:35. Daily cleansing of the high priest. He who ministers for the people must be clean. The Father teaches holiness. The mediator must not carry defilement into his courts. Exodus chapter 30, verses 18 through 21. If the priest that is anointed do sin, let him bring for his sin a young bullock without blemish, and he shall lay his hand upon the bullock's head. Leviticus 4, verses 3 through 4. The larger sacrifice shows the weight of leadership, yet the Father's mercy provides a substitute. The sin of the priest is now transferred to the bullock. And the priest shall put of the blood upon the horns of the altar of sweet incense before the Lord. Leviticus 4:7a. And sprinkle of the blood 7 times before the Lord, before the veil of the sanctuary. Leviticus chapter 4, verses 6 B. Blood upon the horn remains the record of confessed sin, held in the sanctuary until the day when the Father, through his Son, will cleanse it away. Even the whole bullock shall he carry forth without the camp, unto a clean place, and burn him on the wood with fire. Leviticus 4:12. For the bodies of those beasts are burned without the camp, wherefore Jesus also suffered without the gate. Hebrews 13:11 and 12. The Day of Atonement, Leviticus 16. Once a year, the Father appointed a final work, the sanctuary cleansed, the sins removed, the people afflict their souls. Justice is satisfied, mercy triumphs. This day foreshadowed the Son's greater ministry, to blot out sin and reconcile a holy people to their God. And Aaron shall bring the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and shall make an atonement for himself and for his house, and shall kill the bullock. Leviticus 16:11. And he shall take of the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it with his finger upon the mercy seat eastward 7 times. Leviticus 16:14. Beneath lies the law that condemns, above the mercy seat that forgives, and in between, through the sprinkled blood, justice and mercy embrace. And Aaron shall cast lots upon the 2 goats, one lot for the Lord, and the other lot for the scapegoat. Leviticus 16:8. 8. The Lord's goat is for atonement. The scapegoat will bear away confessed sins, separation complete. Then shall he kill the goat of the sin offering, that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil. Leviticus 16:15a. No sins confessed upon its head, this offering remains innocent, set apart for atonement. And do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it upon the mercy seat, and before the mercy seat. Leviticus 16, verse 15b. Thus the Father declares through his Son, the debt is paid, the sanctuary is cleansed. And he shall go out unto the altar that is before the Lord, and make an atonement for it, and shall put of the blood upon the horns, and sprinkle of the blood upon it with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it. Leviticus chapter 16, verses 18 through 19. Every record of confessed sin is answered by atoning blood. And Aaron shall lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat, and confess over him all the iniquities, putting them upon the head of the goat. Leviticus 16:21a. All the records of sin are now transferred, to be removed from God's people. High priest presents the goat to the fit man, and shall send him away by the hand of a fit man into the wilderness. Leviticus 16:21b. And the goat shall bear upon him all their iniquities unto a land not inhabited. Leviticus chapter 16, verse 22a. As the priest, in removing the sins from the sanctuary, confessed them upon the head of the scapegoat, so Christ will place all these sins upon Satan, the originator and instigator of sin. The scapegoat, bearing the sins of Israel, was sent away into a land not inhabited, so Satan, bearing the guilt of all the sins which he has caused God's people to commit, will be for 1,000 years confined to the earth, which will then be desolate, without inhabitant, and he will at last suffer the full penalty of sin in the fires that shall destroy all the wicked. In the fullness of time, the Father gave his Son, justice honored, mercy poured out, and his people shall be clean.